Hello friends, welcome to ASP.NET tutorial. In this sub-series, we are talking about validation controls. In the last video, we talked about record field validator. Now let's look at range validator control. The range validator control validates user input that falls between a specific range. So validates user input falls between a specific range. So that's the use of range validator. So it checks the user entered value and make sure that falls between the specific range. For example, when you are having a IP address component like so this will be the IP address component, and each slat should have a value between 0 to 255. So we can easily check this using the range validator. Say for example, if user enters 410 here, then the validator will check the range and errors out. Important properties for range validator controls are text. So here you can specify the error message to display when validation fails. Control to validate. So here you can specify the control ID that can be hooked to the range validator control. So these two we already saw in the record field validator itself. Then we have two properties, minimum value and maximum value. Using these two properties, we can set the range. Say for example, minimum value we can set 0. Maximum value we can set it as 255. So there is a property called type. So tells how to compare user input with a range. So whether you are using the string or integer or date, so based on that you can specify how the range validator will kick in. Say for example, if you are using the type as date, then the range validator will compare date range. Say for example, 1st January 2000 to 31st December 2020, right? So there we have to specify type as date, then we can specify the minimum and maximum value. Now let us look at the example. Now we will make use of our existing example, and if needed we can rename it. Alright, so here in the source view, so now we added one more label called age, I mean the static text age. After that we added a text box. So if you look at the design, we added two more control, age, and there is a text box. So here we can keep a BR tag so that the submit button will go to next line. Alright, so we will link this age text box with a range validator control. Now drag and drop the range validator next to the age text box. So here we will go ahead with properties and control to validate. Now we have two controls, right? TXT username is already hooked with the record field validator. Now for the range validator, we are hooking the TXT age, right? We are setting property for this range validator, and control to validate is TXT age. Error message we can give it as not in valid range. Minimum value we will give it as 18 and maximum value 125. So here we are taking the input of age, right? So minimum 18, that means adult, and maximum value is 125. So that's the maximum possible age. So we can use 125 for now. For color, we will again specify font color for the error message. All right. So here, if you see, we are checking the range for age. So type, we can specify it as integer. Right. Now we will save it, rebuild the solution. And run it. So here everything is normal. Now we will go ahead with 210. So it states that not in valid range. So this time you used range validator control to accept input that falls between a specific range. So here, even if you give 12, it will not allow. So 18 plus is allowed, right? So we used a range validator. That's all here in this video. Thank you for watching. Bye.